Hey guys, Paul from Ashen Phoenix. It is New Comic Book Day for the week of January 22nd. We're going to get started right now. This episode brought to you by shirts. Everybody needs one. I mean, unless you're like cooking meth, then you don't need one. Because, I mean, shirts, I guess, are somewhat flammable. You don't want to carry those trace materials all over the place. It's just a weird thing. I don't even know why I went there, but buy a shirt.
Hey guys, it's Tim from Kidz and Scowls. Thanks to everybody checking out my audio stuff. I appreciate that. So let's talk about some trades. Paul, you want to talk about some trades?
Sure.
Stranger Things Zombie Boys. This is a new, I believe, original graphic novel from Dark Horse, who did the others, which are all pretty decent. Scooby-Doo Team Up. It's Scooby time. Bruh. This has Mr. Miracle in it, so what's not to love? Punisher Kill Crew. We read issue 1 on here. I enjoyed it. I kind of wish I read more looking at the cast of characters on the back cover. It's kind of fun. Maybe I'll check that out in some point. Batman and the Outsiders by Brian Hill. This is the more recent outing for the Outsiders. Sarah and the Royal Stars. I read issue 1 of this. I can't remember. Did I review it on here or somewhere else? It doesn't matter. No?
No, I don't think so.
This is good regardless. You should check this out. It's by Vault. Then we have Invisible Woman, which has those awesome Adam Hughes covers, and we have Mark Waid writing. I do enjoy me some Mark Waid. It's kind of like an espionage kind of story. And finally, we got Jane Foster Valkyrie. This was a lot of fun. I read issues 1 and 2 on here, I believe. Really cool, really interesting take for Jane Foster going forward, no longer being Lady Thor.
First up, we have Once and Future issue number 6. This is amazing, but I can't talk about it because Tim bought the trade, and there's only so much I can talk about this kind of thing. It's the last issue, so it is the last big hurrah, the last big fight between our main characters and Arthur. Does he win? Does our main characters win? I can't tell you that because Tim will hit me.
I mean, you shouldn't tell him that anyways.
Yeah, I mean, this is an amazing series. I love everything about this. Even the way, if you've watched any of our previous coverage of this book, you know the interesting concept of what is real and what can be made real by believing in it or telling a story or changing small facts in those stories and that creating a truth that didn't previously exist. All of that still does happen in this book. And it is so good. And I want more. So, Karen Gillan, give us more of this. Give us more of this and make sure Dan Mora is attached to it because I need his art. I need much more of his art. And he doesn't do Buffy anymore. So I need him on stuff. So do that.
All right, first up we have Ruins of Ravencroft, Dracula. Frank Thierry is your writer on this. Oh boy, a name I'm gonna butcher probably. No, Angel Unzeta and Stefano Landini. With Rachel Rosenberg and Travis Lanham. People I know, people I like, people whose names I always butcher. This is Ravencroft, if you're not familiar, is Marvel's answer to Arkham Asylum. Horrible things have happened there. Weird chimera experiments, Frankenstein-style monsters. And this is a team led by Misty Knight going in and trying to find some awful things. They end up meeting up with the Winter Soldier, who is like, hey, I've seen this before. And you do a cool flashback story where Cap and Dracula get it on, beat each other up real good.
I'm glad you really specified. I'm glad you clarified that.
They got it on. What are you, 3?
Yes, I am.
All right. Well, for the audience members out there, that's 3. You're welcome. For everybody else, here's the actual review once Paul shuts his stupid mouth. The book's pretty good. It's interesting. It is the lead-in for the actual Ravencroft miniseries proper. And I enjoyed it. It's a little jarring. You're jumping back and forth between things. You have the journal of Dr. Ravencroft. I've already forgotten his name. Sorry. Just kind of telling you the story while you're going through things that Winter Soldier saw. It's a whole thing. It's done well, but I don't know. It was all right. It's a thing. You could read it. I like Dracula.
Next up, we have Red Sonja, Age of Chaos, issue number 1. This is kind of an interesting one. Red Sonja's not in a lot of it. It's basically all of her bad guys, kind of a who's who of Dynamite comic evil beings enlisting to get this necklace from the necromancer that is one of Red Sonja's main villains. He is killed, and she believes that she has gotten rid of the necklace forever. And of course, powerful objects like that don't go missing forever. And that who's who of villains is trying to be the next one to possess it, because they each believe that they're powerful enough for the necromancer's magic to not kill them and then reincarnate himself into the necromancer. It's going to be an interesting one. I'm curious to see where this goes. I'm not huge into Red Sonja's universe. Mostly when I'm reading her, it's a lot of tie-in other books and stuff like that. So it was kind of interesting to see who's going to be involved in this one moving forward.
Hey guys, before I do the next book, somebody was saying they really like the Wonder Woman comic on our wall. I don't know which one it is. I assume it's this one, but I could be wrong. Hey, here it is. It's right here. Let me know if you want this thing. It's a bunch of dollars. It's really good. Good stuff. You'll love it. She jumps off the crocodiles. It's good stuff.
Yeah, I don't think people realize that the behind us is not just like window
It's not
dressing.
a prop.
Yeah, it's an actual store.
Yeah, you can buy this stuff.
You can come in and buy these comics.
Hey, you let me know. We'll talk about it. We'll have a nice dialogue about that there. My next book is Guardians of the Galaxy, #1. What? Didn't this just happen? It sure did. But it's happening again. Just embrace it. It's the Marvel way. Excelsior. This is Al Ewing, who I love, who does Immortal Hulk and can do no wrong in my eyes. It is hard to follow up Donny Cates. They're both probably the most red-hot writers at Marvel. Sorry, everybody else. And I really like Al Ewing. He has this uncanny ability to take characters that on paper make no sense to be together, throw them together, and then write a really cool story. And he's not a stranger to the cosmic stuff. He did the Ultimates Squared, or whatever that book was. The one with Galactus. He was all hungry and stuff. There was ISO 8. It was great. He did that. But this is a different team. I don't want to tell you everyone who's on the team because I want you to be like, oh, that person shows up? It's a lot of fun. But they're basically fighting the gods. The gods are back, like Zeus and Athena and all them. I don't know if they're actually those gods or what, because I didn't read any of the lead up to this. But it seems like they're gods. They seem like those gods. They do those gods things, and they are kind of jerks. And the Kree are there, and they're like Civil War. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. You should read this. Maybe you like it. I like Rocket a lot in this one. And I don't always like Rocket, so that's good. And he has a suit. He's all like, check out my cool suit. It's fun. Yeah, read it.
Next up, we have Marauders, issue -- 6. The political intrigue, all the stuff that goes on in this book is amazing. I love it. This is definitely, for me, the X book that is going on. A lot of stuff happens in this, and unfortunately, we really can't go into it because there's so many spoilers that happen. But something that has been hinted at throughout the series comes to play in this, which I'm assuming is going to be the end of the first arc and where the trade will come into play. So I'm curious to see where this is going, because you're going to see a definite shift potentially on where this story leads, and almost my pick of the week, but not quite. If you like what you're seeing, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and also hit that notification button to make sure that you know when these videos are coming through, because this time will be changing on when we upload these videos to a time shortly earlier than what we normally get them to. So make sure you hit that notification bell and click all, so that way you know exactly when these new videos get posted.
All right, it's time for my pick of the week. Paul, you know what my pick of the week is?
Not a clue.
That's right, you don't. But I'll tell you, it's Kidz. Kidz with a Z. From Ablaze Comics. If you see this in your comic book store, which I hope you do, pick it up. It is a zombie book about kids fighting zombies. Presumably because most of the parents are gone. It is kids uniting. It has like an 80s kind of nostalgia feel to it, even though it seems more modern. It's just kids banding together to fight zombies off in their backyards and try to survive in their neighborhood. The art style is reminiscent of the Gorillas in a way. That is by Jocelyn Jouret. Maybe I did that right. Maybe. She actually worked on Earthworm Jim. I had to look because I was like, is this somebody tied to the Gorillas? And there's actually a Gorillas poster hanging in one of the rooms, in one of the scenes. So I think they like the Gorillas. But this book was a lot of fun. The art was amazing. And, I mean, the kids curse a little bit, but, they're unsupervised. It felt correct. And I enjoyed it. So definitely support Ablaze. I've read other Ablaze books on here, so you know them. You should go check them out. And just support comics, people. Try something different. This is different. You'll like this. This will fill that void Walking Dead left you with. Because, zombies.
What is my pick of the week? It is Ghostbusters Year 1, issue number 1. This is not the cover, by the way. The main cover got sold out, so I'm holding a variant. If you are a fan of Ghostbusters, you have to read this book. They quote things from the first movie that just make you love this book even more. But the premise about Year 1 is this takes place a few weeks after the events of Ghostbusters 1, where everybody is still completely in love with the Ghostbusters and someone is creating a book. So they're writing about how each of them came to be a Ghostbuster. And the first issue is Winston Zeddemore, who was one of my favorite characters in the series anyway. And it really does kind of bring together his first mission with the Ghostbusters and kind of how he came to be part of the crew, and such a willing part of the crew. This was a lot of fun to read. The quotes that they pulled directly from the movies really make you feel at home. And of course, the art makes you kind of feel like you're reading parts of it, because that's one thing that, like, when I read things like Buffy or stuff like that, it kind of throws you off when you're already introduced to these characters, you know what they look like, and they don't quite look what they look like in the series or what you remember them of. As you have no trouble with this book differentiating who's from who, and also a lot of the interesting bit characters that you remember from the first movie. Definitely pick this one up. Even if you're not a fan of Ghostbusters, you might not get all the subtle callbacks, but it's still a solid read and it's worth checking out.
All right, everybody, it's the end of the video. Thank you for making it this far. We really appreciate your support. Make sure you do the notification thing and do all the other stuff. Just thank you for sticking through the video. These videos, most people make it all the way through. That's nice.
That's weird. It doesn't happen often on YouTube.
Doesn't always happen on YouTube. You skip around, but we look at analytics and it says you guys actually want to hear what we say. That's alarming, so thank you. Things to promote. Paul really doesn't have anything going on. We will start having things going on in the coming months. There'll be a lot going on. I have a new interview going up soon. And the last week of January, I believe on the Monday. Who knows? I have a whole schedule that I won't actually follow. But I got a surprise interview. What could it be? Could be anything. Could even be Paul. It's not Paul.
I was going to say, wait, could it?
Could be. I have a mini-sode I haven't put up with Paul. That thing's nearly a year old now.
Oh, wow, yeah, it is.
But it's evergreen.
Yeah, it's true. Just us rambling.
I'll wait until we go to AwesomeCon this year, and I'll put it up then.
That'll work.
I probably won't even put it up. Anyways, thank you. What?
I did that work for nothing?
It wasn't work.
That's true.
Yes, you did it for nothing, Paul. Sometimes life is awful, and you did it for nothing. You don't get a reward.
Okay.
I don't need a reward. Don't watch my stuff. I don't care. You do you. You got other things to do. Do you even know where your kids are, people?
I'm a happy golden retriever. I'm always looking for that little treat. It just makes my day. It makes it happy.
You're something, all right. Come turn this thing off and stop saying awful things in the background. Nobody cares about you and the things you say. You're just going to turn me into an asshole. Will you turn off the camera, please? Turn it off.